I gotta add myself to the stage. Anthony, you slow. Oh, let me get rid of this virtual background. I forgot I had to add myself to the stage. So, LaShonda, don't come backstage. Go back and actually like look at it through YouTube. My bad. I was sending it to you to like. I gotta get rid of this background. All right, there we go. And then for the camera, I definitely wanna. Can I go back to being 1080 or whatever that is? All right. Copy. No, I don't need that. I need to. No, I don't need that. I need to. Sure. No, I don't need that. I need to. Okay. All right, y'all. I got it figured out. It actually worked. And I think I'm going to get rid of this freaking blur too. I really don't like this. Hold on. Let me see what the comment said. Back. Didn't work. Yes, it worked. It worked. My boy, we're cooking with fish grease here. I'm lit. Hold on. Now, let me take this virtual background off because I'm sorry. This blur is just trash. I need some curtains. But hold on, y'all. I'm finna bring some people up. I just need to post this link and we good to go. All right, I'm gonna put last time for real. Hop in. All right. Appreciate y'all for sticking with me. Okay, now we can cook. So, oh, I need to send you the link too, J. Kyle. 1 second. You was cooking on this one. Let me send this. Somebody, my boy Markeith, will add you as a guest if you want. All right, I got a lot of different stuff going on here. Where my boy J. Kyle at? There we go. Let me send you this. Oh no, that's YouTube. No. God dang it. Oh, my boy Kenny.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? So I'm not gonna lie, this stuff be having a lot of moving parts that I'm not used to, but I like it though. You know what I'm saying? This is cool, man. This is cool. So I see you at the gym.
Yeah, I'm about to. My earbuds start working, so I'm about to move up out of here. Just so I ain't a distraction, nobody.
Okay. So I got my comments on. All right, so I see we got a couple people in here. All right, so we here. So, like I was saying, everybody, man, this is my guy. This is Kenny Braxton, KB Show Pony _ Okay, yeah, my fault. Look, he talk about he talk about Link. My fault.
Yeah, my earbuds start tripping, so I'm gonna go to the car.
You good? Just mute your phone for now.
Okay.
Yeah, just mute your phone.
All right.
And I'm finna send the link to J. Kyle too. Copy. And I just put you up there. Oh, ooh, why is it got an echo like this though?
All right.
So, all right. And Brittany telling me she ain't got nothing but time. Tell her, yeah, go ahead. From the
I
future
wish
guest.
I had.
Oh, Brittany. But anyway, Jay Kyle, I sent you the link too. So, hey, look, I do look at me now. Hey, I need my watch hours now, so y'all don't make sure y'all make sure that y'all still have that link that thing open so I can get my watch time. But anyway, so hold on for a second, Jay Kyle. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you what, Kenny, you finna go to the house?
What's up?
You finna go to the house?
I can. I can.
No, I'm saying you finna go
I
home.
was just. I was going to, but I can sit in the parking lot and do it.
No, I was finna say go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Cause it is a little noisy, so that'll help. And so but yeah, go ahead and do that. Go to the house and then hop back in.
Okay, and I'll just hop back in on my iPad.
Okay, bet.
What up, bro?
Man, it's the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Kyle in the building. What's the deal, my guy?
Chilling, bro. I figured since you was doing all this work, I said, let me see if I could save my boy 7 minutes and 42 seconds before I get back into this editing
No,
content.
for sure, man. For
You
sure,
see,
man.
you see, I was halfway up. I was starting to put some lights up. And,
Oh, you cooking over there?
I was, and I just got, the fun thing was I just got my I had to redirect my mini chat because it was going to my photography page. So I'm over here on the computer lining stuff up and all of that, so I can get that going. So once I get all this up, I'm trying to do a whole campaign for like the next few weeks.
And that's what you were telling me about when I was over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's funny. You just reminded me because I was like, yo, I need to get on there and start trying to put some stuff together. So that's cool. But man, everybody, welcome to the Mind of a Man Network, man. And this is a place that embodies a few platforms. You know what I'm saying? We have Cultivating Conversations, we have the Late Night Shift, and then we also have the Mind of a Man podcast. And so that is essentially what we got going on here, man. So on my interview platform, Cultivating Conversations, my boy Jay Kyle so graciously came through. And so, Mistaken Identity, y'all go check that out. That's part 1. And so, man, I'm looking forward to getting back in there and doing some more stuff, man. But man, so the first question would be, man, how does it feel to be famous, man, since you came on the platform, dog? You just things are expanding so much for you. You know what I'm saying? Your
That's
future's making room
hilarious.
for you.
That's hilarious, though. I ain't famous. Don't nobody know me, man. I'm over here just honestly, bro. I'm just doing what God told me to do. If it get traction, it's because God wanted to. If it don't get traction, it's because God looking to see if I'm obedient. That's all I'm doing. You said something about people speaking highly. I'm like, people don't know me. I ain't from here, so I don't know what people saying. But hey, if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, then all praise be to God on high.
So I got a couple ways I could go with this. That's usually how it works.
Okay.
This is the first thing. Brother, at some point you gotta own that God made you to be dope.
You know what? I'm not.
No. You had the floor. You said, man, I'm on my humble gang. I love the Lord. Hey, man, I love my fiance too sometimes, but never above Jesus. That's what you said. So listen, let me just say this. It's okay to be dope. And I think taking pride in executing in excellence is something that us as believers and human beings, we could actually do better at. And what I'm saying is, if Grant Cardone can hop on there and talk about 10X and he can talk about buying jets and planes, that's not our mission. But what he does well. And I think that the reason that we have to take that stance a lot of the time in saying I take pride in how I show up, how I execute, you have a mind for the things that you do well, whether that's speaking, preaching, teaching, putting programs together, education, photography, life coaching. Bro, that's something to take pride in. Not to say that it's the pride, the type of, it's like, yo, God made me to execute in this way. I know you can remember just as well as I do the inception of stuff like Christian rap or like most things that believers get a hold of in the infancy stages of things, they usually don't look well, they don't go well. And I think or it's like having the little kid show up to sing for the first time and he sounds horrible. But it's like we kind of do that thing where it's for the glory of God. And I'm like, yes, that is very true. But if that kid has a gift and it's never cultivated, and he's still up there sounding like cymbals clanging together, it's kind of hard to think that God still gets the same glory if he doesn't elevate to a point of operating a certain way. And I'm like, I know we always want to be careful with our words because we don't want to take a prideful disposition overall. But I do believe, man, me and you have had our conversations here recently, and I'm like, no, man, I want you to receive that you are gifted, that you are dope, that God made you to be a certain type of way, to operate in excellence and to pass those things down, to edify the body and to bless other people, to bring people into the kingdom, all of those things, man. And so I don't want you to take those things for granted, man, for real. And so whatever spiritual word you give me after this, I'll receive it. But I just want you to, I'm serious though, but I want you to know, man, like, no, man, God made you dope, and there's nothing wrong with that. You feel me? You are well spoken. And that's what somebody said. I mean, we were at the Good Dad Tribe event, which you gotta come to the next one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know you ain't a dad, but you gotta come because it's a space for everybody. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and we were talking about it because one of the guys, my guy Steve, I wish he was on here, and he said, man, it was dope, bro. It was fire. He said that guy, man, that dude was dope, bro. He was dropping some stuff, man, and he's well spoken. I was like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just,
that's hilarious, bro. I received everything you said. I think that there is a need to recognize the gift that God's given you. I do recognize that I'm gifted to teach. That is my anointing, teaching.
Yes.
I don't really know where the speaking part came from because I've never been to school for it. I like to read sometimes, and again, I count that as a gift that God has given me. I do believe that it's necessary for us to be as excellent as we can be with whatever God has given us to do, because I think practice excellence is the thing that ushers you into rooms you can't get into. I think that God's glory is still seen whether you are just the clanging cymbals because of your heart position, because God gets glory from where your heart is, because if you do it from the right heart posture, he'll still get what he needs. But there is something to practicing so that you can get into spaces that you otherwise wouldn't get into. With that being said, I think that's why I still take the position that I do at times, because outside of going to school to become a certified life coach, and photography and barbering, those three things I'm trained to do. I mean, outside, culinary, I went to school for that, but that's not, and I don't use that for God's glory necessary per se. But photography, life coaching, and cutting hair, I got papers to prove that I've been doing this for the years I've been doing it. Speaking, I just talk, fam. Like I just talk. So I think that's why I feel the way I do. But to answer the question in totality, if people, I do mean this, if people are really getting something out of what was said, I'm super thankful, because fam, I don't be knowing, I don't know how it's gonna hit. I just throw it the way I'm supposed to throw it, and whoever catch it, let them catch it. So also, I thank God that it's also a means for people to coming back to seeing the mind of a man, and it's a great work that needs to keep going and need not ever die. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for you too, my guy.
So I'm trying to send this out still to some people. So pardon me, I absolutely heard everything you were saying, but you don't think that any of the other things that you do are unto the glory of God?
Well, maybe let me rephrase it. Everything I do can bring glory to God.
Yes.
But my culinary skills per se, don't nobody eat off of that. That's me. I'm in here chefing it up. Like, You give me a pack of oodles and noodles, and it's gonna taste like you paid $40 for it. Yeah.
Oh, you. So let me ask you this: have you ever spent the night in the clink or longer?
No.
Because the only reason I'm asking this is because I'm thinking from the standpoint of like, how does this look if you mesh it up against what they say spreads look like in prison? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what them joints look like.
No, I mean, like, so for example, right? Growing up, I had a kinfolk, right? It would be late at night, 2:00 in the morning, like we up late, right? And he was like probably like 6, 7 years older than me. I wasn't even probably a teenager yet. And so he would be like, man, I'm hungry, bro. I'm like, yeah, me too. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So we sneaking through the kitchen because my grandmother did not play. She slept downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll get 2 pack of noodles. We'll get a can of mixed vegetables, some type of chips, something like that. And then we mixing all of that together. Yes. So, and if there was some type of meat that didn't require, some type of crazy fixing, then we throwing that in there too. When you compare that to prison, that is essentially how they do things. They make spreads. They call it a spread.
Okay.
For example, not used to. I don't really eat waffles and stuff like that from the house as much. I get them for my kids, but I don't really eat it as much. Mm-hmm. But what I would do, waffle, peanut butter, waffle, peanut butter, waffle, right? Okay. So now say it. You know what I'm talking about with the spread? I ain't saying you've been to prison because that's an army man right there. But so anyway, that is a jail thing.
Okay.
And then but one of the most phenomenal ways to eat a waffle in life, I promise you.
I ain't never heard of that one. Now I've done the waffle with just the whipped cream on it. That mug hit, but but I like peanut butter, so I'm about to go try that.
Please.
But so like for me,
because you know what I was gonna say? I was gonna say, yo, the whipped cream is wild freak bowl. Bro, I'm not into that. No, I'm saying I'm not into like whipped cream like that. It's not I'm like, you know how they'll be like,
I mean, it don't stay stock in my fridge like Diddy got baby oil. It's just that if I bought it, I intended to use it for waffle or Sunday. Like I don't keep a spare case.
You say nobody's got stories of it. I'm just saying it goes great with my food.
But see, that goes into it too, because like I will shop literally for what I'm about to cook. Yeah, I mean, like So there's times. So like for me, when I think of ramen, I think of it as just another pasta. So like if I got chicken in the crib, I got some ramen, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, bet I could just make a quick pasta dish, or vice versa, because I'm like mindful of my salt intake. I never use an entire pack of the seasoning. So if I'm trying to make like a sauce, but I don't got any bouillon, I will take a pack of the chicken seasoning and add that to my seasoning to get more of a chicken flavor or something like that. But the crazy thing is, I've never had official ramen. Like I've never been to like a Japanese spot and had like ramen. I've only had the Walmart pack pre-made.
So here's the thing. I gotta interject. So no, you've not physically been in prison, right?
Uh-huh.
But you've been imprisoned in your mind for quite a long time. if you just told me that you took regular noodle, like oodles and doodle, and said, you know what? I'm gonna go chop up this 97% lean chicken. We're gonna throw it in there. I'm gonna throw the bro.
With check this out. With the homemade cream sauce, the butter, the flour, the cream, the Parmesan Oregano cheese, busted up real nice. My chicken is sauteed real good. My broccoli is ready. Throw that mug in the same pot, and then now get my al dente ramen and throw that joint in there. I promise you, unless you eat ramen on a regular basis, you ain't gonna know that ramen only cost me 30 cents.
Question. Oh, I mean, bro, I'm being so serious here. You're taking me so far out of bounds here with so much. First of all, you said bouillon. Saying bouillon with top ramen noodle is so far out of bounds. Second, Sir, did you say al dente? Like as if now are we talking about regular noodles or are we still talking about the top ramen joint?
Top ramen, Mandarin, whatever it's called, the joint that's only 20
Marachin.
cents. There you go.
This
the chicken,
man
the creamy
said al
chicken.
dente.
Absolutely. Because I look at it as pasta. All that is quick, cheap pasta. And when you got to struggle and make things last, you know how to do regular ramen. But then when you get, right, when you get a couple of pieces of coins in your pocket and you need something quick, this is how I came up with this stuff. I need something quick, but I want it to be good. I don't got time to bust down this spaghetti and let it boil, but I know if I throw this ramen in the microwave for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, half a cup of water, I'm gonna get my perfect pasta. Boom, I'm ready to go. I'm eating it out the door in 30 minutes.
Here's my question. Are you saying al dente because you're using it in the context of what that actually means?
Yes. Absolutely.
So you're saying like, oh, it's I'm slightly undercooking it. Like, knock it off.
Yes, I'm
knock it off, bro.
It because once I put it in the sauce with the chicken, it's gonna cook more because I'm a texture person. And if it's too done, then by the time it's in the sauce with the chicken, now it's slimy, and I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling that. But like I said, when you've been trained to cook, you know how to take whatever and make it be what it got to be. So. Yeah,
I'll be honest. I think you missed your calling in everything that we've stated in what your giftings are. If you're taking this and now it's turned into steak 48, pasta style.
Hey,
what are we doing here? Let's just take a hard curve here.
Hey,
but I digress.
Okay.
Let's get into the previous weeks, what we did here, what I think we cooked up a nice little masterpiece here, over cameras and mics.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, said no freaking way. That's what I'm saying.
I can't
he's going to convince me that he's like, cut the noodles on. No. Cook them for 1.5 minutes, not 3 minutes, because they'll be too done. All right, take those off the stove. Okay, we're going to poach the chicken. Okay, we're going to take the chicken package from the actual noodles. We're low on seasoning, so we're going to spread it so gingerly over the chicken while it cooks over the stove. We're going to do a red sauce. Come on. You can fool a lot of people.
Look.
You're good with those words, my boy. I would give you credit for that.
Look, I'm putting it to you like this. I'm putting in something that's more relatable to you. Okay. Right?
Okay.
Now,
please do.
You might not be a barber, right? But you could tell, right?
I've cut hair before.
Huh?
I've cut hair before.
Okay. Now, if you know how to cut, and I gotta speak to you like the barber educator I've been. If you know how to cut hair, then it don't matter what tool you got. But if you know a haircut, then you're limited to doing whatever it takes to achieve that haircut. I, my sir, know how to cook.
You know your way around.
I know how to cut hair. So it don't matter if my pasta is from Italy or from row 7 in Walmart. If I know what to do with pasta, I know what to do with pasta. And I know what to do with pasta. And I've been broke for a long time. So you learn how to make your meal taste like. Now, it wasn't always like that. I've messed up a lot, but now it's second nature. So yes, it's possible. And I eat hood rich sometimes because I ain't got but $20 in my pocket and I need the last till the paycheck here.
I can rock with that. Okay. So with that being said, let's veer back because we just got right off into Chef J. Kyle. You know what I'm saying? and for the people, I will hold your feet to the fire, and we'll come to the crib and you go live.
Oh,
and you are gonna have to show us what you got here.
Say less. That's easy.
Said you heard it. So all right. So for those of you who don't know or may not have seen, man, we did an episode. Like I said, it was my first episode back on Cultivating Conversations, Mistaken Identity. If you listen to J. Kyle on his many platforms, his coaching page in particular, he will talk a lot about identity for men. And so I think it is very important for the viewers, for those people who missed the podcast. Oh, hold on one second, y'all. We got a serious text message that came through. Okay, so man, he talks about identity and how important it actually is, right? And so for those people, for men in particular, so creating a safe space for men, the brotherhood. I want you to kind of tell the people, give them about a 5-minute synopsis of your calling to speaking to men and all of those things, but then also about what the brotherhood does and how it answers some of those questions that may be missing for those people who need it.
Bet. So, as a man who I've been through different challenges in life, from performance issues to imposter syndrome to codependency, a lot of mental health issues growing up, even to the point of trying to take my own life more than once. The 5-minute version is, at one point in time in my life, the Lord said, it's time for you to get out of the place you are. I'm from upstate New York. Left a bad place, and through my journey into Texas, the Lord connected me with people, places, and things that detoxed me, that healed me, and then set me on a new path. And the Lord helped me to understand that identity was the reason why I was where I was. And identity is what got fixed in me. And identity is my assignment, because a lot of men struggle with their identity. They misappropriate their identity. They put it into what they do. They put it into what they have or the lack thereof. They put it into the relationship, and they fail to realize who they are. Now, identity is not a gender issue. It's a human issue. However, God called me. My assignment is to men, because God has a need for his sons to be back in their rightful place, because it's the order he set. And I say that because sometimes people hear me and they think that, like, well, what about us ladies too? It is true for ladies, and ladies have a bunch of things for them. But the one thing, and the reason why God set me on this mission, was because in my time, this was before men's mental health was a main buzzword, I could not find support groups. I could not find help. I could not find anything that spoke to me as a man, as a black man, as a married man, as I was at the time. I could not find anyone that could speak to the core of who I was as a man. So God said, the reason why I got you out of that, the reason why I rescued you, is so that you could turn around and create what wasn't, because there's still men who need it. So I went to school, became a certified life coach. I niched my coaching into identity transformation, where I help people find purpose, help them find their identity, help them get unstuck from, like, I'm here, but I can't get to where I want to go. You might know where you want to go, but you are very foggy and you don't know how to get there. So I help I help men specifically build processes to help them get from one place to the next place successfully, while also learning their identity. And that's why the Brotherhood is in place. The Brotherhood is a new initiative that we just started. Our first session was back on the last Wednesday of January, is about a week or two ago. And we meet every fourth Wednesday of the month. And I say specifically fourth because some months have 5 Wednesdays. But it is a place that is designed for men to come together and have real, honest, open conversation, judgment-free. It is a place I help men collectively and individually get reborn to a degree. A place where men can be restored, they can be rebuilt and be rebranded. And we do it through conversation. We have a very unique way of communicating the challenges that we're dealing with without it having to be embarrassing. Again, there's no judgment. Like, literally, we have some bros there that was talking about everything from challenges in the bedroom to marriage to jobs to whatever it is. And so we meet once a month for now. I'm creating a community for it through GroupMe for us to meet more and more after that. And just some other resources built into the coaching program, man. So that's what we do. That's why I do what I do. And I ain't stopping until the Lord tells me to stop.
Yes, sir. For those of you maybe wondering who went, Anthony went, and it was pouring down rain.
Yes, it
It
was.
was a really bad storm that day, but it was worth it in every sense of the word, man. It let me know that what I had started a few years ago was absolutely worth it. And if we're being honest, no disrespect to any woman, please keep watching and share it with another man. But men, he's right. Women and even the men who like other men, um, they have a lot of safe spaces, but a lot of the time, men don't have those safe spaces to just kind of be honest and grow and mature. The brotherhood is something that should be here to stay. He has a nonprofit, and he is looking to grow and build it. And shout out to Brittany, because she is a part of a nonprofit as well that is for the ladies. And so and it's Christian based. And Brittany is super solid. She will be a guest on the podcast here really soon, and just a solid person overall as well. And so,
Brittany,
man,
collab.
yes, absolutely, like seriously. And I never thought about that. I'm like, that is super dope. But yeah, man. So I'm glad to see that there are healthy, solid resources for men and women to be able to get what they need. And so, like I said, man, if any of you who may be watching, you may have missed it. Mistaken Identity Part 1 was fire. I can't lie. I was super proud of it, man. And even for that to be the first one back, can't wait for us to get in and do Part 2 because there's still so much more meat on the bone.
Yeah, it's crazy too, and like a lot of people don't know, that was impromptu. Like we didn't go there planned for that session. I didn't know we was walking. Like neither one of us knew we was walking into that. We hadn't met before that. That was our first time meeting.
Let me tell you, I was fully prepared. That's why I had clothes on, because I was like, okay, he do this, he do that. Okay, I'm like, Clarence coming. Maybe we could do it. We can shoot. I'm always ready. I'm always ready, dog. So I'm glad that it worked out that way, man. We got my boy Kenny in now once again. So, first of all, just kind of tell the people, for anybody who may want to know how to get in contact with you and all those things, please let them know. And if you could hop out and go into the chat once we finish to put your info as well, because I want people to get access to the resources that you provide.
Absolutely.
So go ahead.
You can my social media is HeyCoach_Kyle on Instagram. That is me directly. The nonprofit is _rebrand the man on social media. The nonprofit name is Rebrand the Man. So our website is rebrandtheman.org. And my coaching website is mylifegrooming.com. You can hit me on any of those. I'm on Instagram every single day. And my presence is growing as I am spending more time putting content out there. We just got done doing a 30-day men's devotional connected to both pages. So go back, check those out, fellas. If you need just a good encouraging word to hit you, we got 30 consecutive days of God-led devotionals there for you. But that's how you find me. I will go back to YouTube and throw that in the chat. I would love to connect with any organizations that are for men, and even ladies, like ladies who they have sons, and just ladies who need to hear a conversation, because there's many things that God has provided me that's given me insight, that I believe, like I said, identity is a human issue, not just gender. And while my assignment is to men, I am not exclusively only speaking to men. So love to make it happen.
Absolutely. Man, it's a pleasure. Hey, dog, I almost want to say, outside of maybe my boy Randy, and I'm talking about that I've just met somebody for the first time, and then it's like, yeah, good luck getting rid of me. You and my boy Randy are probably one of the few people like that I've met off just like on a random, like wasn't expecting that. I'm like, you are a friend. I consider you to be a friend of mine, my brother.
Same here, brother.
And even stepped there, a brother of mine for real, man. And so it was a pleasure, man. I look forward to us doing some dope things together, as well as a collab with the other nonprofit as well.
Yeah.
And so, man, we gonna be talking, Brittany. You on here, so you know.
That sounds like a nice podcast episode between me, you, and Brittany. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, it's Brittany and LaShonda, and so we're gonna have to figure out how to get all the microphones. But we can make it happen, man.
Yes, sir.
It was a pleasure, my brother. Thank you for stopping by.
Please, bro.
Yeah, like I said, when you log out of here, just hop in and just keep them watch hours going.
Gotcha.
But man, we gonna put you backstage, man. Be sure, like I said, put your information in the group chat. I mean, in the chat on YouTube, and then we're gonna bring my boy Kenny up.
We'll do. Peace.
Man, it's a pleasure, man. My guy Jay Kyle, yo, and by the way, Brittany, I don't know. Look, you know it's late. You know y'all wouldn't be having your bonnets on and stuff. Do you want to go up the top? You know what I'm saying? Because you can present the nonprofit yourself. You just need to let me know. But man, so that is episode 4 from Cultivating Conversations, Mistaken Identity with my boy Jay Kyle. That's part 1. We will be coming back with a part 2 here really, really soon. But who I am bringing up next is my boy, man. Like I said, man, on the podcast, he's been supporting since, you know, I was in the closet, man, had the pillows right here, and I'm like, this is the momentous moment, you know, and I'm trying to make sure the sound don't bounce off the walls and all type of stuff, man. But my brother's always supported, man, and I'm glad that J. Kyle helped us figure this out so we could kind of do this thing the way we're doing it. And I'm glad for the old podcast that I was a part of, man. My boy said is still a part of it. First Stream Podcast, man. So shout out to everybody over there. And so anyway, oh yeah, my boy, man. My boy said still out here, dog. Anyway, I'm just, you know, let me bring Kitty up, dog.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, dog? How you doing, man?
I'm not too shabby for old man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, please, man. This dude in here, man, he be posting his little videos of his close friends. He doing leg lifts. He squatting and stuff. Now, Kenny, when I first met him, he was like, "No, I don't do no legs, man. My knees, man. You know." Now Drake got you over there running and squatting and doing all type of stuff, man.
Well, you know, Dre's the best, so she could bring a lot out of you that you thought was either gone or you never could do. So it ain't me. It's really her and the Lord, man.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm finna send this to Dre too, because she needs to hop her butt on her. Not hop on her, but she needs to see this. You know what I'm saying? But so hold on. Let me tell her I'm on live with Kenny. All right. So first of all, man, welcome to the Mind of a Man Network, man. Thank you for being, you know, a guest and part of episode 5 from Cultivating Conversations, man. It meant the world to me. I don't know if you heard. So, you know, you kept saying, you know, your giver make room for you, right?
Yeah.
And so let me give you the backstory. So I had Chris in there, the guy that I interviewed, who will be episode 6, right?
Yeah.
And so years and years and years ago, I never forget it because I was working out at Fitness Connection, and this is before COVID. So it'd be 12 o'clock. I'd be working out 12 a.m., whatever, it didn't matter. And so we was on the phone, and he was like talking about breaking down scripture. And he was talking about how, you know, man, you know, he's talking about how your giver made room for you and stuff like that. And he was like, it's not talking about like your skills. Like it's talking about like literally people would bring a gift to get before certain people. Now, in context, he's absolutely correct, but I also believe in the way that you use it, that it is correct as well, because if you have something that is can bring something to the table before people, whether it's a supervisor, a GM, whoever, your life is an example of your gift making room for you in a real life way. And so it was just funny though, because I was like, I can't, you know, I love the video because I created it myself, but it was like, I was wishing that Chris would walk in and be like, "No, nigga, like it's not about your skill set." And so
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to text you and say, "No, I'm not making fun of you or nothing like that. This is based off of a real conversation that we had." Where when he first said it to me, when he first was explaining that to me, I was like, "This dude messing up scripture. He don't know. This dude is not like." That's what I said to him. I was thinking that to myself, like, this dude don't even know scripture, bro. He's gone off the deep end. So anyway. Please welcome my boy Kenny Braxton, man. KB Show Pony _74 in the building, man.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm not trying to get sympathy for having a dog, but so I have a situation. We just got a new puppy, and here's the deal: like, it's just like having a brand new kid. So when I come home from work, the puppies get handed to me. Like now, you got to
It's
deal with
your
this.
turn. Take
Exactly.
them, Kenny. So question: Do you and your spouse do pet names, or do y'all go? But do y'all call each other by your full name? How does that work?
I'm Kenny and a whole lot of other things in this household. Now, my wife, her name is Cordelia. She's Cordelia or Babe, but I got paragraphs of names I'm called depending on when I leave my socks in the middle of the floor and that kind of thing.
You know how it go. Yeah. So first of all, man, how did it feel? Have you been on a podcast before, like where you sat down and did the whole show, the whole shebang?
Yeah, I've done multiple podcasts. I mean,
Okay.
being on your show was a little different experience for me because, first of all, as you said, I've been following your work for a long time, and
Yeah.
for me, it was a blessing. Number one, just to watch your growth journey, and I don't take that lightly at all. And I mean, what Anthony said in the beginning of our discussion is not an exaggeration. I remember when Anthony started out, literally with his cell phone, cracked cell phone, I believe, with a
Yeah.
cracked screen and two
Yeah, for sure.
pillows and then elevated to a Roku machine. I remember him asking for assistance with that and to where he is now with full brick and mortar. So to just be a part of your growth journey for me, and then just be able to sit down as brothers. And to me, it wasn't even as much as doing a show as having a fireside chat under lights and a
Yeah.
microphone in front of us. Because our discussion was no different than the discussion we've been having for the past decade being friends. So
Yeah.
again,
So
thank you for just inviting me.
I really appreciate that because you let me know that the approach is correct. Because anytime I sit down with somebody, like to Jake Howe's point, I don't know if you were listening before you hopped on, but he said, man, that was impromptu. But my point is like, man, I do believe that I have the ability to kind of break down some of those barriers, man, and being a host so that we can just have conversation and just talk like men or a man and a woman and, just kind of bring the audience in. Like, in today's world, you need authenticity. You need to be able to kind of, because everybody got something that they trying to do. So everybody got some type of agenda. And I don't even say that in a bad way. I'm just saying overall, man, people got stuff that they want to get out there. Whether you got a clothing line, or you got a podcast, or you got some type of business, or you want to push an initiative with family or whatever it may be. And so I've had experiences where I'm sitting down with people and it's not as free flowing, and it's because there's this desire to kind of present this image versus just showing up as you are. And it's not to talk down on a soul, it's all in love, but it's just the reality of, like, in today's world, our generation doesn't want the fluff. And so
I would just say this, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I think that a lot of people, it reminds me of that George Benson song from back in the early 80s called Masquerade, Living the Masquerade. A lot of us, we wake up in the morning and we put on a mask, and we don't feel like we could take off that mask. When we do take off that mask, oftentimes, unless we're authentic in itself, right, it just comes naturally and we don't care about accolades or whatnot. It takes someone to set that kind of tone, energy, and environment that makes you feel comfortable to reveal the mask. So I say all that to say, with you, you are very good at just unveiling yourself, which makes it a lot easier for people to take off the mask.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So let me ask you this. How hard is it, or at what point did you realize that you didn't have to wear a mask? Because you're in that corporate world where it's easy, where we feel like code switching. When is it appropriate? It's obviously certain things that we can't say or do in most environments, right? I can't come on, I can't go to your job, walk up to me, hey, what's up, my nigga? How you doing? That probably ain't gonna work. So have you learned, or what's been the balance in you learning how to, like, take that mask off, or when you finally say, you know what, this is who I am?
Well, number one, I think it is a balance, especially being in the corporate world. But I think I shared with you privately, and I don't mind sharing publicly. We never really dug into it on your show, but I went through this weird journey from a mental health perspective last year where I dealt with imposter syndrome. So I was given a pretty big title, pretty big role at a very large company I worked for a long time. And I can even remember sitting down with my boss and him saying, hey, I'm thinking about starting this role, blah, blah, blah. And even in the conversation at lunch, me saying, well, whoever you pick for this, and he kept coming back to me and saying, you're who I'm picking. But in my mind, I couldn't believe it to be true. And then when I got in that role, right before I'd have to speak in front of people about the subject matter where I appear to be the expert, I would get really nervous because I thought, I haven't been doing this for years and years, and I'm in front of these people that are probably waiting for me to say a certain thing and judging me instead of being who I am. And it goes back, and that's what brought me to that conversation about gifts, because, you know, there's certain occupations in this world and in society that there's a lot of them. I'll just use the example of a police officer, which probably isn't the best example, but there's something unique about each police officer in any occupation that makes you that subject matter expert because of how you do it. I truly believe all of us are born with a secret sauce and a superpower that makes us unique. And in that sauce, somebody out there is really hungry and thirsty for it. And we got into this, and I don't mean to spoil, but I truly believe it's almost a sin if you have a God-given gift and you sit on it and you don't share that. That gift isn't for you to hug yourself every morning you wake up. It's for you to share it with your community that surrounds you.
It's interesting because me and Brittany were just talking about this, like it's probably going on 2 weeks ago now. It's crazy if that's what it was. Maybe it wasn't that long ago, but close to it. And it's like, Brittany was, she talked about how she was like, she was doing a podcast, and it's like it's in line with what's going on in culture, and it's something that she is good at. Like, she articulates well, personality, all of that, right? But it's like, she realized that she didn't necessarily need the podcast to take those gifts that she actually has and put it out into the earth. The reality is most of the people who are walking in who they are or what God has called them to, you're finding a way to use it all the time. You brought up a police officer, and I think about my boy Randy. I just sent him the link. I don't know if he hopped on yet or not, but it was today. So he should be at work right now. And the reality is, like, his skill sets and his gifts and the things that he does, like, he's able to do those things every day. A natural born leader, somebody that's going to lift the morale, somebody that's going to give wise advice. All of those things are things that typically you're like, unless you're a father or a husband or a wife or, whatever, the only places that you're really going to use those things is in the mission field, in a sense, right?
Correct.
And so, the good thing is when people, it's a duality. Sometimes people see that in you when you don't see it in yourself.
Right.
Or sometimes you see it in yourself, but you got to kind of do the work to put yourself in position for other people to see that thing in you as well. Prime example with me, right? I am a union steward now, so I represent the carriers at the post office. The tough thing about that is, like, I used to like, man, if I ain't feel like it, bro, I ain't coming to work. And I'm like, it wasn't like, no, I'm gonna call in 2-3 days in a row, but it's like, all right, bro, I worked like, let's say it was my long week, which means I work Monday through Saturday, and then I'm off Sunday. That Monday or something like that, whatever that like that day after the off day, you probably ain't gonna see me.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I feel like I deserve this day off. I need 2 days in a row. And if you ain't gonna give me 2 days, I'm gonna find me a way to get it. So once every quarter, you was gonna get a couple call-ins from MO, and I wasn't gonna feel no way about it. But here's the problem. People, like, literally, somebody said to me today about how they were happy to see a carrier that presented himself a certain way in his uniform. And the reality is, I've heard that a lot, because when you got somebody, and I don't know if Say's still on here, but if you got somebody like, it's a guy named Steve Collins who, Master Sergeant in the Army when he retires, just a man's man. You come from that type of background where you're, in the military. He still believes in his uniform being a certain way, his boots still, crisp and shiny. And so I'll never forget the first time that he gave me a positive affirmation when I had first got my uniform. I was still a CCI, I wasn't even a regular yet. That's a mailman right there. Look at you. See, that's what I'm talking about. And mind you, I cared. I just didn't get my uniform yet. It always was in my mind that another type of man that I would model myself after in a way gave me that affirmation.
Right.
So that sent the signal to say, you know what? This is how you present yourself. I'm in an environment that I don't know anything about. I ain't been at the post office, but maybe a year at that time. He's been here for almost 20 or whatever. So it's like, okay, this is clicking for me. So, you know, it's just you never know who's watching. You have to be mindful because sometimes you're the example in environments that you may not even want to be the example in.
Yeah.
If Kenny's the one black guy out of 60 people that work at Dino Sinclair or whatever the name of your job is, who you think they finna look at for the inclusion, for the diversity, for the black experience? They looking right at you. Kenny, what you think?
Well, yeah. I learned from my grandfather. So my grandfather, his last career job was actually a janitor at the elementary school that I attended in Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you the level of pride he had, he was the most popular person at school because he whistled and mopped them floors with pride, jangled them keys. He had about 50 keys on his belt loop, you know, and I just believe watching him that no matter if you're cleaning bathrooms or presenting in a boardroom, whatever space God put you in, you got to do that with pride because it's bigger than the occupation itself. We are all planted here, and yes, we get a paycheck, but in that space, that's where you're truly minister. And that's why it's always funny to me when I watch these cats that they go to church and they get goosebumps and they say, oh, I'm called to preach now. Well, we are all called to minister. I've always believed that, but some of us need to accept being marketplace ministers and not run to the pulpit. So with that, I think what your occupation is, that is your training ground right there. Whether you're working at the post office or Sinclair Oil or wherever, we are all put here to be a light and minister by the very energy we bring. Sometimes it doesn't even take beating on the Bible and re-quoting scriptures. Just bring that good energy to the office. They'll know whose kid you are. They'll know you're a child of God.
Bro, you talking. Seriously, you talking, man. And for those of you who may be new on here, you know, me and Kenny got a podcast that's dropping tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Legacy of Love, or I think that's what the name of it is.
Yeah.
Yes, Legacy of Love. But, you know, we got into some of those things, man, and just kind of how you were identifying some of these very things that you're talking about as you were kind of going through. You had these two separate phases of life, one in here in Texas and another in California, that kind of shaped and molded the way you viewed life and in your approach to certain things. And so I looked at the interview and I was like, man, I was watching. I said, this is good. This is gonna be something that translates, you know. And so, man, I pray that people kind of get that, man, because in reality, man, you know, you say you have your granddad, right? And it's nothing to harp on for me anymore because I believe God has did some major work in my life that I don't harp on the past anymore. But I'm like, I didn't have a granddad to look after. I remember when I was in grade school, I went to for those of you who from Fort Worth and from the East Side, I went to Atwood McDonald.
And then, I went to Atwood McDonald for a little while.
You know what I'm saying? And then I went to Hanley Middle School, and then from Hanley Middle School, I went to Eastern Hills.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a grandpa that would show up to pick up his grandkid every day after school. He died. So, no, let me take it back. I got stung in the face by a bee when I was at school playing or whatever. My face swelled up, looked like I got punched. And ain't nobody ever put hands on me, you know what I'm saying? So if anybody want to try me out there, you know, you better think twice about it. You know what I'm saying? That don't got nothing to do with nothing. I'm just throwing fake threats out here. But I look like I got swelled up or whatever. That same guy, I got home. He was friends with my grandmother. So he went in the kitchen cabinet and literally started taking seasonings and different stuff down and mixed it together and put it on my face. And it was like a kind of like a mask. and it pulled the stinger out, whatever he did or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember my uncle or somebody like making some joke about cooking my face or something. No, I forgot what it was, but it also relieved the tension and pressure off my face. That same guy ended up dying. I think at the school or on his way to the school to pick up that kid. And I remember the kid, I was waiting up there as well. But I didn't understand the concept of what was going on at the time. But it was like, it makes me just kind of reminisce on the fact that like, that was like a good example to me, right? Like much how your grandfather was an example to you. And I also think about how when you take pride in things, no matter how big or small they are, it translates in a way that you almost can't force people to believe. It's almost like you being married for 20 years, you and your wife going on trips, and y'all just doing y'all thing. Y'all ain't really on social media. It's like that's gonna minister more to people than if y'all doing all the pictures every day and y'all doing the photo shoots and it's happy wife, happy life and all of that stuff. It's like that stuff don't ever translate as much as people who are real representations of what they have going on. And it's the same thing for walking in your purpose. It's the same thing for being a man who takes pride in wearing his uniform a certain way, who wants to keep himself groomed, who actually shows up and is a leader at work amongst men. You know what I'm saying? And I think that all those things are just always going to translate better than whatever things we make up in our mind to put that mask on and say, well, I'm going to show up and be the good employee. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So anyway, I probably tiraded us out right there, but but nah, man. So what do you think, man? Because I know you have an ideas of doing your podcast as well, man. What do you, given your vast knowledge as a speaker, a performer, a thespian of sorts, what do you see you kind of like elevating the platform? Because I do want to talk to the people as well about how I see this platform actually expanding as well. What do you see for your platform moving forward?
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of moving. I'm still in corporate, and I hope I could be. So I'll be 51 at the end of this month, and I'm hoping I could continue my corporate journey for another decade. But through this journey, what I've learned is that the gift that God has given to me is to motivate people, to inspire people through just talking, believe it or not. So I want to transition more into the motivational speaking platform. I think my target audience is probably young adults. I have college age nephews and nieces that I spend a lot of time mentoring and guiding and girding. So but at the end of the day, it's wherever God leads me. But I really do think that's my niche. So whether it's in podcast form, live audiences, or what have you, that's where I'd like to kind of transition to.
So let me ask you this: does the idea of presenting a podcast and like doing that on a weekly, semi-weekly, bi-weekly basis, that's something that you feel like you could maintain if that's something that you got into?
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking more. I definitely believe when you step into something new, you need to master what you do. But I understand that mastery doesn't happen overnight. So I think what I probably do is dive into it where it's like once a month versus every other week, because I definitely believe in not overcommitting. When you overcommit, you rush to burnout, and then your product doesn't have as much quality. So for me, there's nothing wrong. I got a friend that started a podcast a few years ago. He's a corporate guy too. And his first season, he literally just put out 3 episodes, 3 in a whole year. And between those 3 episodes, he worked on the content, the material, getting the proper guests to invite on. So I kind of like that approach. So we'll see. But I'm thinking to start out probably monthly.
So I can respect that, number one, because that's you being real with. I think that's the problem with most things is that people either fake commit or they go all in and don't have a basis to where they're trying to go with it. And so I don't know many podcasts unless it's like some of the kind of like long story type of podcasts where it's like they're literally like they tell stories and it's like 3 hours long or something like that. so the production takes longer and stuff like that. I don't know a lot of people who do that, but it is smart, and it does kind of help you to temper yourself, because I believe they say most podcasts don't make it past the 6th episode, like by and large. And so, you know, I've shot past that by, you know, a long time ago, but I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to go. So for the people who are on here, man, I just do want to kind of share with you where I kind of see what I want to do with the platform, right? So let's say, for instance, Kenny's like, hey, man, I do want to put this, you know, podcast out once a month, but, you know, I don't want to go through the whole process of editing, recording, putting up on a platform. I want to lend my platform to people to be able to get their stuff out there, get exposure to the audience, things like that. That is part of the reason why I changed it to the Mind of a Man Network, because I think about like the Charlemagnes of the world that have the Black Effect and stuff like that, where there are different, you know, a bunch of different people. And of course, you know, that would mean I need to step my game up in what I present to the world as well, so that it is something that has value that can draw people in. But yeah, I definitely will want to do that, man. And so the next thing that I want to do, and I want to stay in my interview bag for a long while. I want to do all of these things concurrently. I want to do the late night joint, man, where I'm bringing like kind of like the daily news and stuff like that. I think I know who I want to use to be like a female like producer, and then just have guests come on. You know what I'm saying? I present it, so it'll be like most late night shows, but it's just my spin on it or whatever. And so the one episode that I did, I really enjoyed, man. And so at that time, Trump was a hot topic even then. And so this was like pre-election and all of that stuff. And I'm like, you know, stuff like that is not hard, you know, to kind of get into, man. And it was a lady I've never met. I don't know this lady from Adam, or from Eve rather, but she had a lot of stuff to say to me, bro. I mean, she was very upset that here's my thing. I didn't never say anything pro or con about Trump. I just feel like at the end of the day, like if I see a leopard, I know it's a leopard.
Right.
Can that leopard do some good stuff? Sure. Can that leopard go and maul a kid? Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's a leopard. Yeah. And so I think that was kind of that's my approach to most things. And I think that's why I could do well in spaces like that, because I have my belief system. Prime example, we were at a meeting tonight, a union meeting. I got sworn in and stuff like that, right? And I'm listening to them talk about, this person, because it's like they're really like talking about like governors and, you know, Democrats and stuff like that, and about, you know, preserving the union way and all of that stuff. And I think I hate most things that are skewed one way.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'll accept to be skewed a certain way is matters of my faith. I really don't care what y'all out there think about my faith, or I may have thoughts on what you believe, but if that's what you believe, do your thing and rock out, right? But when it comes to something like politics, the reality is for somebody to present to me that Trump is just the worst person in the world and he's the devil, I just can't go with you on that. Why? Because he just passed something that said, and mind you, this is not me saying I'm pro anything or con anything. I'm just saying I have a relatively, let me see what you present and I'll draw my conclusions type of approach to things. He just banned transgenders from being able to get in there and body slam my daughter on her head. I'm not mad at that.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm probably gonna lose any chance to be popular with your audience, but
I just lost two.
See, well, that probably started when the light-skinned brother came on camera anyway. But I'm gonna say this: I think that sometimes we rush to get behind a cause just to get behind a cause, and I think that the way we can move sometimes is a bastardization on our ancestors that really was marching and fighting for something, to be able to vote, to be able to have equal rights in the workplace. And I get it. We're not all the way there yet. But get behind stuff like, well, I ain't gonna shop at Target no more. It's like, I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, okay, this is what I'd like to ask you. You're not shopping at Target no more. What are you not getting that you were getting before when they had DEI? Well, it's just wrong. And I said, okay, so where are you going to shop now? Amazon? And I sat there and thought, see, that's what I'm talking about. We jumped to being emotional. Amazon cut their DEI programs too. But again, I would like to ask, when they were flashing on bright lights, which we should have known that was cap, because that was just in response to the George Floyd situation. So what are you not getting now that these organizations that never cared about you in the first place are dropping their DEI programs? So again, I think that sometimes we get caught up in the emotion instead of listening and having a more balanced approach. Because the truth of the matter is, whether it's red or blue, they don't care. They do not care. And to me, federal government has become folly in theater anyways. I think we need to get more involved in local government. And that's what I'm very, very passionate about. A lot of us don't even know who our councilmen are in our district. So when we walk around complaining about police treating us wrong and police brutality, Trump or Biden ain't gonna fix that for you, but your local government can help fix that.
And you can touch that person.
Yeah,
you
can absolutely
go in and book a meeting and do all these different things. Yes, man, you hit it on the head, man. And I think that and it's not even a concept, it's a reality, right? It's like you ain't 9 times out of 10, if you try to reach out and touch Trump, it ain't gonna end well.
It's not, right?
Well, it's not gonna start. Unless you're a goofy white kid on a roof, and then you'll get real close to him. Yeah. But I just, man, local politics or politics at the local level have always been the way to get things done. And it's like, I don't have to be super into politics to understand that, right? And so you're absolutely correct, man. We need to do a better job at taking the emotion out of things. This is what I told somebody recently too. It's like, and if, for anybody who's jumping on, this isn't GOP talk. You feel me? But it is something that, we're getting into. But it's like, it's the whole idea of and I dang it, I know I was gonna lose my train of thought. I should have never got off of it. What I was gonna say. Dang it, what was I about to say, Anthony? Crap, it's gone. Anyway, well, so much for that.
Yeah, but no, I appreciate you having me on, and I got to pack for a trip and get back to my dog and husband duties. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the episode dropping. If anybody needs to get in touch with me or I'd like to continue the conversation or respond to if I pissed you off tonight, you can find me on Facebook, Kenny Braxton, and then Instagram is KB_ShowPony74. And I'm also on LinkedIn if you want to just professionally network. I'm on LinkedIn, Kenny Braxton. So live right here in Grand Prairie, Texas. And yeah, Ant, thanks for having me on, man.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, back at you, man.
My guy Kenny, man. So man, I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to see if it was some other people that wanted to actually hop on the live. Man, my boy Jay Kyle really showed up for me in a big way tonight to be able to get me to realize that I could just connect through YouTube. And because I had already done the whole process of kind of being woven with another network before, it's worked out for me. But yeah, man, I don't know who. Matter of fact, and if you've already done it, forgive me. But if you're on here, can you please let me know who's still in here? I just want to know. But man, we got a new episode dropping tomorrow at 8 a.m. Legacy of Love with my boy Kenny Braxton, man. We definitely got to get into the weeds about some things, man. It was a really good interview, man. And so what I believe that I'm gonna start doing is the day before the episode drops, the night before the new episode drops, I'm gonna go live, and then we'll just kind of chop it up or whatever. If you aren't following the podcast, or the network, please do. I appreciate any of it. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be locked in on what I got going on. So it's funny because we've been, all in all, I've probably been on here for dang near 2 hours at this point. And he brought up that I was trying to get the Rodecaster. I forgot what he called it. He called it like a Roku or something. But I was trying to get the Rodecaster, which is the audio interface for, you know, how I pretty much run the podcast, right? And he talked about how I was, you know, trying to get people to, you know, do certain things. Well, guess what? I'm back begging. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got some other stuff I need to get for the studio. You know what I'm saying? So I will be begging, you know, encouraging people to help support, man. You know, I want to get 3D, you know, some more 3D wall setups for the studio. I want to get the switcher and all of that stuff for the studio as well, to kind of just help the process. I'm not asking nobody for nothing over here. I'm just saying that's what I want to do. Man, I thank y'all for tuning in with your boy tonight. We had J. Kyle on. We had my boy Kenny on. I'm going to just start coming on to tap in with y'all as well, because I do want to start building a genuine community of people. And so hopefully next week we can get Chris on, because that's the next pod to come. But we don't want to put the cart before the horse. We got to get back in line with what we're doing right now. Before I go, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any comments? Anything in particular? Because I can stay on here and ramble forever, y'all. But I do want to know if anybody has any questions, any feedback, any comments. Just let me know. And if not, you can say Negro, get up off of here, and then we can get up off of here. Thanks to Sid for hopping on. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to LaShonda. Thank you to Brittany. You know, those are the people that I know for sure that actually commented. J. Kyle. Are you going to close it out with a prayer? Yes, we can close it out with a prayer. You ain't saying nothing but a word. So forgive me. I don't know who is Mopri is. What is Mopri? Who is that? I think I know who it is, but Mopri sound, you know, I don't recognize Mopri. We can absolutely close it out with a prayer. I got a feeling this is this Tim? Yes. Okay. Yes. Is that your last name? Tim, what's your last name, bro? Yeah. That's my dog, though. Tim, that's my boy. Hey, you didn't answer my question either about them taxes. I'm dead serious. Hey, look, we will have to put a halt on that. I need to figure something out, dog. It's getting rough out here. But anyway, yes, man. Yes, I will close it out with a you. No, I'm not. What are you talking about? No, I'm not, dog. No, I'm not the feds, dog. Don't do that. Hey, man, you throwing smut on my name, dog. Don't disrespect me, dog. Hey, man, I come to Houston and come see you. See, I ain't even say where you actually stay at. But anyway, man, listen, man, I just love being out here chopping up with y'all, man. This was fun. Like I said, I'm gonna do this at least once a week. And as I, you know, get more content coming out on different platforms, we'll do it more often. I do appreciate y'all though. So anyway, man, I will close us out with a prayer, man. He said, I'll give you my last name. Give you my last name. Text, by text. I think you meant by text. Nah, that's cool. That's cool. So anyway, man, I end this with a prayer, man. I ain't scared. I ain't ashamed. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get this prayer on, man. We'll get on up out of here. Heavenly Father, we come before you this night in Jesus' name. We thank you, oh God, for a platform where we get to come on here and have fun, encourage each other. I thank you for all those people who are supporters, true supporters who love what this platform can bring. I thank you, oh God, for everybody. I pray anybody who came and gave their time, devoted their time to this platform, I pray you will bless them in abundance, oh God. I pray your Holy Spirit will cover them. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your mercy. I thank you that you are good. Your mercies endure forever. Oh God, we pray that you would touch this platform, oh God. I pray that humbly, oh God, that you would touch this platform, that it would have increase. I pray, God, that it would bless people. Oh God, I pray that you touching this platform would open the doors for other platforms, oh God, and to be able to do things in this earth, oh God, that have not been seen in a while. And so I thank you, oh God. I pray that we give this over to you to allow you to have your way, oh God. And so I bless you. I thank you. Even for my brother Tim, mentioning us to be able to pray, God. We are not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, oh God. And so above all else, Lord, besides being a man, I am a believer in the Lord Jesus. And so we pray, oh God, that you would allow this to reach those who need to be reached, oh God, as always. Bless those in their coming and their going, oh God. Thank you for hearing us, loving us, and seeing us, oh God. Thank you for dying for us and rising again. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. You feel me? All right. So whoever hopped off here, you don't love God. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't stay for the prayer, you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch them. You gotta watch and pray. But anyway, man, y'all have a good night, man. I love you. May the Lord keep you. See you at the conference. Peace.